Hi everybody, it's Paul Rizik back again with another gardening update, and it's been a big week, and you'll see why in just a second, just as soon as I turn this camera around. There we go, and as you can see, the garden has expanded considerably since we last spoke. So I'll just take you around to the stuff that we know so far. So this is still the kohlrabi, still nothing popping up yet. The cabbage is, I keep saying this every week, but it's getting bigger and bigger, so I'm super excited about that. Kale, similar story. You can see here the tomatoes. I think there were just one or two stalks that were popping up last week, but now we're getting a bunch more that's slowly making its way up there. And we can see that last week we just had the one tomato plant, or the one tomato pot starting to get life popping up. But you can see in the week that's passed, the other pot is starting to get some action too. And I moved the garlic over here just because I think it'll get a little bit better coverage as far as the sunlight goes, and I'll make some more room. Oh, and also the beans, still waiting on that, but they're doing fine. Those are supposed to take a while to start popping up. But anyway, as you can see all around me, there's a bunch of more stuff. This was so when I'm not working at Prescott Public Schools. I work at, I volunteer at the Prescott Farmers Market, and I help do food deliveries there every Saturday. And one of my fellow volunteers, a nice woman named Dana, I told her about sort of my job for the school district and all the stuff that I'm doing for the gardens. And she said, oh, I have a ton of plants in my front yard that you can take, clippings of, and you can plant them around the schools. So she did just that. She brought me like a lot of pots and stuff, which is awesome, and I'm super excited for it. And I'm gonna just take you guys through exactly what we got. Yeah, so if you remember from last week, it was the garlic here was kind of dying and like not doing super great. And it's definitely not, especially this one's still a little bit rough. But this one, for instance, and this one back here, it's definitely starting to come back. So I'm really excited to see where this garlic ends up, and I'm really excited to, one day harvest and taste it, because there's nothing, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, there's nothing quite like fresh produce. And yeah, the gardens at PUSD are going to be great, and I'm really excited to get it out there. These two right here, it's an old favorite, it's just sunflowers. These, as you can see, are pretty early on in their growing cycle. Eventually they're going to grow up and up and up, and they'll be impressive. And you can do a lot of stuff with sunflowers. You can eat the seeds. You can make, sunflower oil, which is good for cooking. You can just eat the sunflowers a lot of the times, like just straight up. And yeah, it's really, and they look nice too. So it's kind of a win-win-win there. Next to it is this vine. This vine thing is a perennial herb. It's similar to mint. And the nice thing is, once you plant it, it just sort of goes wild. So I'm going to probably put it in, probably at Prescott High School at that bed that we visited maybe a month ago, if you remember that video, just to get a little bit more ground coverage. Speaking of ground coverage, this is more of that mint stuff. What am I looking for here? I guess, yeah, this stuff is... This is just sort of generic ground cover that she got. So this is like stuff that will just kind of spread out and like just get everywhere. I don't know what it's called, and I don't think she knew what it was called either. But I'm excited to just plant it and see where it goes, because it looks kind of funky, right? Like all these vines going everywhere. It'll be interesting to see how it grows. So these plants here, these big leafy things, these are wild geraniums. We got a fair amount of them, and those are just, generic flowers. I think they have purple. I think they're purple flowers once they fully bloom, but right now they haven't bloomed yet. But obviously it's still early in the season, so I guess that's something to look forward to. And then this last one, oh, actually this might be the geraniums. I'm not sure. These look like some kind of flowers as well. Again, I don't know exactly which ones they are, but they appear to be pink or purple, and yeah, it's just another cool thing that we can kind of look forward to. And as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff. This is more like just generic, like covering plants. that she had in her yard, and more of that mint stuff. And yeah, so it's just a really cool kind of addition to the garden. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to eventually planting these on site. Do it for me for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions or any ideas for things that you'd like to see in the gardens, feel free to shoot me an email. It's just paul.rizik@prescottschools.com. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.